Welcome to Pre-Algebra Tutorials Late Night Edition. I had to wait till everybody went to bed to record this one. I should be in bed. So I hope everything comes out okay in this one. We're going to talk about powers and exponents. This is section 1.2, and there are certain words we need to know. With every section, there are words that we will need to know just about. So the three words we need to look at today are power, base, and exponent, and these are illustrated for us in this example. So if we look here, I see 7 to the 4th power. Okay, 7 to the 4th, the whole thing is a power. This is a power. Okay, a power is a result of repeated multiplication. The 7 in this power is called the base. And then the 4 in this power is called the exponent, if you can read that. Okay, sorry about the handwriting. Okay, so we have two parts in a power. We have the base, we have the exponent. Now these are, oh, that's a terrible line, factors. Okay, so 7 to the 4th power is the same as 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Let's look at the next page. Okay, write the product using an exponent. Okay, so if we have repeated multiplication, we can simplify that by using an exponent. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, well, that's 8 multiplied by itself 4 times. So that would be 8 to the 4th. This is the base. Okay, the 8 is the base. The exponent comes by the number of times I multiplied. Okay, look at number 2. The base is going to be x. So it's x to the what power? Well, 1, 2, 3. How many times does it multiply by itself? Third power. Okay, here 10 is the base. 10 times 10. Well, how many of those are there? There are 2, so it's 10 squared. This is number 4. It kind of looks like it's all mashed together here, but I got 3.7 times 3.7. Well, the base is 3.7, and there are 2 of them, so it's 3.7 squared. Okay? Pretty simple stuff, I think. Let's look at the next page. Evaluate the expression. Now, the word evaluate we learned last time. Evaluate something means to get an answer. So that's what we want to do, evaluate. We want to get an answer. This is an expression. It doesn't have an equal sign, but it has an operator and it has variables. It's an expression. Okay, so x squared. What we want to do and what I want to see on your paper is when you do something like this, I want to see substitution. So that's going to be 2 squared. Then I want to see expand 2 times 2, and that is equal to 4. Okay. So I want to see all of this when you do a problem like that. Again, a little messy. I'm sorry for that. It's late. Okay, here I'm going to substitute the 2. That's 2 cubed. Well, 2 cubed is the same as 2 times 2 times 2. It's not 2 times 3. It's 2 times 2 times 2. And that equals, as we all know, 8. Okay, x to the 4th. I'm substituting 2 for x. I want to see the substitution. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that equals, well, this is 4, and this is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, again, I get so many people who just say, well, that's 8. It's 2 times 4. It's not. That's a very common mistake. I don't want you to make it, okay? So that's why I keep bringing that up. Okay, I'm going to substitute 2 here. That's 2 to the 5th. That is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That gives me, well, this is 4, and this is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, let's look at the next page. Find the area of a square with given side lengths. Okay, one thing about a square, its sides are equal. All 4 sides are equal. If we're finding the area of a square, well, it's like the area of a rectangle. Remember, length times width is the area of the rectangle, but if the side lengths are the same, you have a square, and we just call it side times side, or side squared. So the area is s squared, or one of the side lengths squared. So let's substitute. Here we have a side length of 8. So it's going to be 8 squared, which is equal to 8 times 8, which is equal to 64. And I've got to put the units. I started out with inches. If I square inches, I get inches squared, or as we like to call it, square inches. Okay, now here, side length 11. That's 11 squared, which is equal to 11 times 11, which is 121. I started out with meters, but I squared it, so it's meters square, or square meters, the way you commonly hear it. Here, we have a side length of 1.5. That's 1.5 squared. Well, that's like 15 times 15. Remember, 15 times 15 is 225. So I have the same numbers here. I'm just going to have to do this decimal. I've got two decimal places, so this becomes 2.25. And it's square units, so it's centimeters squared. Okay, again, if I square the number, I have to square the units. If I cube the number, I cube the units, okay? Each of these are squared, so I had to take the units. We can't forget the units, but I had to square them, okay? Let's look at the next section, which I think is the last, yeah. A gift box has a shape of a cube. What is a cube? It's basically a three-dimensional square. A cube is like a box with all the side lengths the same. It's a cube with an edge length of 14 inches. Find the volume. Now, if we can remember back, volume is equal to length times width times height. You will also see it written as a capital B times the height. Okay, this is actually called area of the base times the height. We don't need to know that right now. But a cube has all sides equal. So I basically take the side and I multiply it by itself 3 times, so it's side cubed for volume. Okay, so if this has a length, an edge length of 14 inches, I substitute 14 in. That's 14 cubed. That is the same as 14 times 14 times 14. And because I've already done this, this is equal to 2,744. Now remember, if I cube the number, I have to cube the units. The units are inches, so that gives me inches cubed. Again, the words we learned today are power, we learned base, and we learned exponent. We learned how to expand and show our work here, okay? And that should conclude our lesson for tonight.